Hey everyone, Shunku here again, bringing you the upcoming anime for this season. Fall and winter have already passed, but it just felt wrong to just skip it, so what I'm doing is I'll just put it on hold so I can get you all up to speed of current anime. So let's jump on into this spring season's lineup. Let's start off the series with Yahari no Seishun Love Kome wa Machigatteiru Zoku. It is a sequel to the Yahari no Seishun Love Kome wa Machigatteiru television series. Follow Hachiman Hikigaya after he has joined the services club in what at first was something forced by his teacher. Turns into something a little more as he gets to know Yuki no Ikinoshita and Yui Gahama in the process. Unlike the first season, which was animated by Brainspace, this season was animated by Fio and will air on April 2nd.
Yahari ore no seishun love kome wa machigatteiru.
Next is Funassyi no Funafunafuna Hiyori. Funassyi is the popular pear-shaped mascot of the Tokyo suburb Funabashi, and it will be receiving its own animated short series. It is a comedy slice-of-life kids show made by Asahi Production. This short series started airing on March 30th. Omakase a Miracle Cat Dan is a comedy kids series about Nakagawa, who owns 10 cats in real life and adores one in particular named Mamitas. This anime depicts the slapstick comedy of the idiosyncratic 10 cats and folks in the unusual Nakagawa family, and made by Oriental Light and Magic. This series started airing on March 31st. Next is Battle Spirits Burning Soul, which adapts Bandai's original trading card game in which cards represents dragons, demons, birds, insects, and other spirits that the player can control in battle. You know, like in every other typical card game. And made by Sunrise, this series started airing on April 1st. Tamagotchi Tamatomo Daishuu Go is a kids comedy anime series and is the sequel to the Go Go Tamagotchi TV series. It will be animated by Oriental Light and Magic and started airing on April 2nd. Danna ga Nani o Itteiru ka Wakaranai ken ni tsurume, translated as I can't understand what my husband is saying. Second season is a sequel to the Danna ga Nani o Itteiru ka Wakaranai ken TV anime series. The anime follows the daily life of an earnest, hardworking office lady named Kaoru and her otaku husband Hajime, who is completely immersed in a certain huge net bulletin board system. And made by Seven, this series started airing on April 2nd. Redcan is about a girl named Amami Hibiki who can see ghosts and other supernatural phenomena in her surroundings. The story follows her daily life with both her friends and the otherworldly. Animated by Piero Plus, this anime series started airing on April 2nd. Next is Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha Vivid. After 8 years of the lack of new Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha content since Striker S besides the movies, Nanoha and her friends are back. Set 4 years after Striker S, Nanoha finally has time to get off her feet. Now you can explore Nanoha's world through Vivio Takamachi, Nanoha's adopted daughter, and her device, Sacred Heart. Animated by A1 Pictures, this anime series started airing on April 3rd. Don't let those innocent looks fool you though. This anime series has more action and intensity than most series you will see. Dungeon ni Deo Motomeru no wa Machigatteiru Doroka, or Danmachi for short, is set in the city of Arario that houses an underground labyrinth known as the Dungeon, full of monsters and along with them, talks of excitement, honor, and romance. The story follows the new adventurer Belcrano and his faithful encounter with the goddess Hestia. Animated by JC Staff, this anime series started airing on April 3rd. Nagato Yuki-chan no Shoshitsu is a spin-off series of the Haruhi Suzumiya series taking place in the world of the disappearance arc of the original novels. This spin-off focuses on the high school life and romance of a tentative and bashful Nagato Yuki, quite unlike the one you've come to know and love through the SOS Brigade, but no less charming. Follow Nagato Yuki, the shy president of the literature club, a girl who has never been very sure of herself around other people, but around Kyon, the only boy in the 3-person club, Yuki finds herself faltering even more than usual. For Kyon and her precious club, Yuki must find her confidence and let her true personality be revealed. Animated by Satellite, this anime series started airing on April 3rd. Next is Vampire Holmes. It is an anime adaptation of the smartphone game featuring a character named Holmes in London, but against his name, he is a private detective who does not reason or explain mysteries. However, Hiyori somehow solves the case. He secretly takes on a mission from the police to search for vampires. Animated by the studio Kukuri, this series started airing on April 3rd. Next is one of my personal favorites for this season. Even though I'm not a big fan of fan service, the comedy and entertainment this show offers reached far beyond my expectations. The story follows Yukihiro Soma, whose dream is to become a full-time chef in his father's restaurant and to one day surpass his father's culinary skill. But just as Yukihiro graduates from middle school, his father closes down the restaurant to cook in Europe and other parts of the world. Although downtrodden, Soma regains his fighting spirit after he is challenged by his father to survive in an elite culinary school where only less than 10% of students graduate. Will Soma have what it takes to survive? Animated by JC Staff, this series started airing on April 3rd. Jewel Pet Magical Change is a spin-off of the Lady Jewel Pet TV series. This will be the 7th Jewel Pet Mahou Shoujo anime release. The story follows the rabbit-shaped Jewel Pet Ruby and other Jewel Pets on their mission to restore the Jewel Castle, which had fallen from the sky into the middle of the town due to humanity's lack of faith in magic. To restore humanity's faith in magic, the Jewel Pets transform into humans and come down to Earth to study them. Animated by Studio Dean, this series started airing on April 4th. Next is Kekkai no Rinet. As a child, Sakura Mamiya mysteriously disappeared in the woods behind her grandmother's home. She eventually returned whole and healthy, but since then she has had the power to see ghosts. Now a teenager, she just wishes the ghosts will leave her alone. At school, the desk next to Sakura's was always empty. Then one day the absent classmate shows up and he turns out to be far more than he seems. Animated by Brainspace, this series started airing on April 4th. Denpa Kyoushi, translated as Ultimate Otaku Teacher, centers around Kagami Junichiro, who was known as a physics genius when he was a teenager and published papers in the journals Nature and Science. However, after graduating college, he suddenly lost all interest in science and has devoted himself to becoming a NEET and his anime blog. Not wanting to watch him throw his life away, his little sister Susune gets him a job at the high school she attends. Animated by A1 Pictures, this series started airing on April 4th. Awadi no Seraph takes place in a world where an unknown virus has killed the entire human population except for children aged 13 or below. Those surviving children were then enslaved by vampires. Yuichiro Hyakuya, a human, dreams of becoming strong enough to kill all vampires. This anime series will run in 2 split cours from April to June for the first season, then October to December for the second. This series will be animated by Wit Studio. The first season started airing on April 4th. Next is High School DxD, Born. It is the 3rd season to the High School DxD TV series and the sequel to High School DxD New. The TV series are based on a light novel series written by Ichie Ishibumi. This season follows volume 5 to 7 of the light novel series in a rearranged order by Ishibumi sensei himself. This anime series will be animated by TNK and started airing on April 4th. Gunslinger Stratos, the animation, is an adaptation of the third-person shooter video game also named Gunslinger Stratos. The story takes place in the year AD 2115 when the country once known as Japan was split into 2 alternate future powers, the Lawless Frontier S and the totalitarian 17th Far East Imperial City Management District. A rare disease known as degradation causes a total degradation of the human body to a mere pile of sand, and it was slowly spreading across the world. Toru Kazusumi, an ordinary student, becomes involved in a multi-universe battle as the 2 parallel worlds fuse into one, meaning that he must fight himself from an alternate world. Both sides must wipe out their other worlds and survive. Animated by A1 Pictures, this series started airing on April 4th. And of course, we have the star series of this season, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2nd season, the sequel to the 1st season 2 seasons ago, one of the most hyped and highly acclaimed anime this year. No doubt about it, this is one of the favorites this season as well as on par with Shokugeki no Soma, but I guess that's a word comparison considering they are both 2 different genres. Picking up from the first, the 2nd season will continue to battle the Holy Grail War as we follow our hero and heroine, Emiya Shiro and Tosaka Rin, as they fight alongside their servants against the other 7 masters and servants. The 1st season was without a doubt a masterpiece and just left viewers wanting more. I'm confident that this season will finish it off with an experience you will never forget. Animated by Ufotable, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2nd season started airing on April 4th. Next is Plastic Memories. After failing his college entrance exam, 18-year-old Tsukasa Mizugaki is offered a position at the renowned SAI Corporation by his father's connections. The corporation is known for a production and management of androids that possess human emotions called Giftia. Tsukasa will work at the terminal service department where he will recover Giftias close to their expiration. On top of that, he is ordered to work with a female Giftia named Ida, who is never given a responsibility other than serving tea to her co-workers. Animated by Dokokobo, this anime series started airing on April 4th. Uta no Prince-sama Maji Love Revolutions is a sequel to the Uta no Prince-sama Maji Love 2000% TV series. Animated by A1 Pictures, this anime series started airing on April 4th. Tesagure Bukatsumono spin-off Puru Puru Sharumu to Asobo is the 3rd season anime to the Tesagure Bukatsumono TV anime series. The series is animated using the program Miku Miku Dance. This season particularly will start to have full 30-minute episodes as opposed to the 15-minute ones used in previous seasons in order to match the format of most TV anime. This series will be animated by Tesagure Production Committee and start airing on April 4th. Kekkai Sensen, translated as Blood Blockade Battlefront, is about when the breach between Earth and the Netherworlds opened up over the city of New York, trapping New Yorkers and creatures from other dimensions in an indestructible bubble. They've lived together for years in a world of crazy crime sci-fi sensibilities. Now someone is trying to sever the bubble and a group of stylish superhuman is working to keep it from happening. Animated by Bones, this series started airing on April 4th. Duel Masters vs. Revolution is the sequel to the Duel Masters vs. TV series. It's a card game anime, so I won't go into details. Animated by Ascension, this series started airing on April 5th. Arslan Senki is set in the prosperous kingdom of Pars, which lies in the royal capital of Ekbatana, ruled by the undefeated and fearsome king Andragoras. Arslan is the young prince of Pars, who despite his efforts does not have what it takes to be a king like his father. At the age of 14, Arslan goes to his first battle but loses everything, bringing him to face the demise of his once glorious kingdom. It is however his destiny to be ruler, and so he embarks on a journey to reclaim his fallen kingdom. Animated by Liden Films and Sanzigen, this series started airing on April 5th. Next is Baby Steps, Season 2. It is the sequel to the Baby Steps TV series. Animated by Studio Piero, this series started airing on April 5th. Show by Rock takes place in a metropolis of music called Midi City. A kitty girl wearing gothic Lolita clothing named Cyan is scouted by Maple Arisugawa, the president of a music agency. From there, she meets Choo Choo, the honor student rabbit girl, a net geek dog girl named Retori, and an alien sheep girl named Moa. Together, they form the band named Plasmagica and aim for the top of the world as they slowly grow by battling other bands. Animated by Bones, this series started airing on April 5th. Next is Ame-iro Cocoa. Due to various circumstances, college freshman Ari Tokura begins part-time at the cafe Rainy Color, run by Shion Koga and owned by Koji Amami. Attending the cafe are the cool and handsome Keiichi Iwase and a confident Ryota Sakurai. Ari's life gets a lot more hectic but fun. Animated by EMT Squared, this series started airing on April 5th. Ghost in the Shell Arise Alternative Architecture is a TV series for the Ghost in the Shell Arise franchise. The series will recompile the 4 existing episodes of Ghost in the Shell Arise and include 2 new episodes as well as answer why the Section 9 members were brought together. The episodes are not in chronological order, and made by Production IG, this series started airing on April 5th. Hero Kini no Mosaic is the sequel to the Kini-iro Mosaic TV series. The first season was about Shinobu Omiya, who is a 15-year-old girl who had once did a homestay in Great Britain when she was 10 years old. She met a blonde, extremely shy shy English girl named Arisu Kataletto. Once getting to know each other and getting past the language barrier issue, the two became close friends. On Shinobu's last day in England, Arisu makes a promise that she will come visit Japan someday. 5 years later, Shinobu receives a letter from Alice stating that she is coming to Japan. Anime by Studio Gokumi, this series started airing on April 5th. Daio no A, second season, translated as Diamond no A, second season, is a sequel to the Daio no A TV series. Anime by Madhouse and Production IG, this series started airing on April 6th. Next is Kaito Joker, second season is a sequel to the Kaito Joker TV series. The thief, mysterious Joker doesn't just steal things. An audacious and elusive miracle maker, he travels the world searching for treasure with his partner and cook, Hachi. As they circle the globe, they must avoid traps set by the police and compete in various competitions to reach their final goal, the time-slip treasure. Anime by Shine Animation, this series started airing on April 6th. Nyuru Nyuru Kakusen-kun second season is the sequel to the Nyuru Nyuru Kakusen-kun TV series. The anime revolves around little creatures called Kakusen who live in the skin pores of humans. Anime by DLE Inc. This series started airing on April 6th. Teikyu Season 4 is the 4th season of the Teikyu TV series. The story centers around 4 high school girls who belong to a tennis club. Anime by Miru Panset. This series started airing on April 6th. Takemiya Nasuno Des is the spin-off of the Teikyu TV series. The story centers on the daily life of Nasuno Takemiya, the exceedingly airheaded school tennis club member in Teikyu, and her friends. Anime by Miru Panset. This series started airing on April 6th. Mikagura Gakuen Kumikyoku is a story based on a super popular song series from Niku Niku Doga. Eruna Ishinomiya is a freshman who dreamed of a school life filled with cuteness after entering a boarding school known as Mikagura Private School. In this school, each of the cultural club representatives must battle each other with unique powers to decide how they will be treated. What will happen to Eruna, who somehow ended up being the representative of a club? Anime by Dogokobo, this series started airing on April 6th. Hibike Euphonium is a story that begins when Kumiko Omae, a girl who was in the brass band club in junior high school, visits her high school's brass band club as a first year. Kumiko's classmates Hazuki and Sapphire decide to join the club, but Kumiko sees her old classmate Reina there and hesitates. She remembers an incident she had with Reina at a brass band club contest in junior high school. Just from the general synopsis, this reminds me of K-On!, except instead of light music, it's brass band music, but it seems less of a slice of life and more drama than K-On!. Anime by Kyoto Animation, the same studio that made K-On!, this series started airing on April 7th. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters Battle City Hen is a remaster of the year 2000 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters TV series. This is to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the series. It will include a new edit of Duel Masters Battle City. Anime by Studio Gallop, the remastered series started airing on April 7th. Bar Kidawara Yasai centers around vegetables that children hate. Everyone hesitates to eat and are smelly. The series follows these vegetables as they visit a bar to share drinks together while they talk about their worries. Anime by Gathering, this series started airing on April 7th. Gintama with a small circle thing on top is the 4th season of the Gintama series and a sequel to the 2012 Gintama TV series. Anime by Sunrise, this series started airing on April 8th. Triage X takes place at Mochizuki General Hospital that boasts some of the most well-trained and well-endowed nurses in town. But though these ladies spend most of their day battling disease, their after hours are spent fighting a very different sort of sickness. Under the leadership of the hospital chairman, a handful of staff members and local teenagers form a group of mercenary assassins targeting the cancers of society and excising those individuals before their wickedness spreads. Anime by Zebek, this series started airing on April 8th. Ore Monogatari centers around Takeo Goda, who is a giant gap with big heart. Too bad the girls don't want him. They like his good-looking best friend Tsunakawa. Used to being on the sidelines, Takeo simply stands tall and accepts his fate. But one fateful day, he saves a girl named Yamamoto from being molested by a pervert. Could this be the start of his new spring love life for Takeo? Anime by Madhouse, this series started airing on April 8th. Hokago no Pleiades is about a young girl named Subaru who discovers that her best friend Aoi is part of a magical group trying to gather engine fragments so that a little being from Pleiades can return to his home. Subaru considers joining them as she was chosen by the Pleiadian, president of this after-school club. Anime by Gainax and associated with the car company Subaru, this series started airing on April 8th. Etotama revolves around Nyatan, the cat of Chinese astrology who wants to become a member of the Chinese zodiac. Nyatan is simple and suffers from memory loss, and she tries various foolish ways to become a member. She meets Takeru Amato, a high school student who lives alone in Akihabara, and becomes a freeloader at his house. Little by little, she gets closer to her goal. Anime by Shirogumi and Encourage Films, this series started airing on April 9th. If he sees underwear, humanity will be destroyed? Punchline is an original anime that centers around high school student Yuta Iridatsu, who has a particular habit. When he sees a girl's panties, he gets so excited, he faints. After a certain incident with a ghost cat, his soul gets separated from his body. Using his special powers, Yuta watches the daily lives of the inhabitants of an apartment that sometimes plays tricks on them. Eventually, Yuta decides to unlock the secrets to why Earth will be destroyed just because he spots girls' panties. Yeah, I don't know why. Anime by Mappa, this series started airing on April 9th. Urawa no Usagi-chan is an original anime to advertise Urawa City in Saitama, Japan. The genre is comedy slice of life and seems very lighthearted for a nice casual watch, which for some reason is the type of thing I enjoy even though it has no solid plot or story, and I'm pretty much basically just watching cute girls doing cute things. You guys can hate me now. Animated by Ariel, this series started airing on April 9th. Nisekoi of a colon is apparently a thing for sequels and anime for some reason. It is the second season of Nisekoi and a sequel to the Nisekoi TV series. Raku and the girls are back and hunt for the key to his heart and lock it continues in the second season of this fan favorite series. Along with the romantic rivalry between Kurosaki and Onodera, this season features all the familiar characters from the first season with the addition of Onodera's younger sister, Haru. With a new girl in the equation, will it really be more to marry for Raku? What will happen to this false love? Animated by Shaft, this series started airing on April 10th. Sidonia no Kishi Daikyu Wakuse Seneki is the sequel to the Sidonia no Kishi TV series. After the events of the first season, the authority of Sidonia plans on turning the tables and strike the enemy's heart. Ace pilot Nagate Tanikaze and company again put their lives on the line to protect Sidonia, but now in company of an unexpected ally, a sentient goddess Sidonia hybrid. And made by Polygon Pictures, this series started airing on April 10th. Future Card Buddy Fight 100 is the sequel to the Future Card Buddy Fight TV series. No synopsis is available at this moment, but seeing as this is a card game anime, I doubt there would be one anyways. Animated by Oriental Light and Magic and Zebek, this series started airing on April 11th. Next is Saint Seiya Soul of Gold. In the underworld during the fight against Hades, the 12 gold saints gave up their lives to destroy the Wailing Wall and allow Seiya and his friends to keep moving forward. Ioria and the gold saints who should have disappeared come back to life in this beautiful earth full of light. How have they resurrected if they were supposed to be dead? While the big mystery remains, Ioria gets involved in a new battle, and when his Cosmo exceeds its limit, a change happens to the Leo cloth. Animated by Toei Animation, this series started airing on April 11th. Yamada-kun to Nanini no Majo is about Ryu Yamada, who is known as a delinquent in his high school. He has been bored of classes after 1 year of attending school. One day, he accidentally falls from a flight of stairs onto Urara Shiraishi, the A student of the school. Yamada wakes up to find that he has swapped bodies with her. The two try to reverse the change and discover that kissing triggers the body swap. On the suggestion of Student Council Vice President Toranosuke Miramura, they revive the Supernatural Studies Club. The club encounters other witches with different powers that are activated with a kiss. Animated by Liden Films, this series aired on April 12th. Eikoku Ike Nihon no Taberu is based on a book by British travel and dining journalist Michael Booth. The show follows Booth, his wife Leeson, and his two kids Asger and Emil on their 100-day trip to Japan as they try a wide variety of Japanese foods. Booth was inspired to make the trip by Shizuo Tsuji's book, Japanese Cooking, A Simple Art. Animated by Fanworks, this series started airing on April 12th. Ninja Slayer from Animation is a cyberpunk ninja action drama set in the near-future city of Neo Saitama where ninja souls have been unleashed. The story follows Fujikiro Kenji, a salaryman whose wife and children were killed in a ninja battle. He is then possessed by a ninja soul, turning him into a ninja slayer, devoted to killing all ninjas to avenge his family. This series will be animated by Trigger, the same studio that brought you Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia, and started airing on April 16th. Grisaya no Rakuin is related to the Grisaya no Kaijitsu TV series. The story picks up immediately after the events of Grisaya no Meikyu. Yuji finds himself embroiled in an elaborate game of super political chess revolving around both himself and an inconceivable new system, a system that Yuji may have more of a connection to than he thinks. One thing is for certain though, the girls of Miyahama are no longer willing to let the world steal things away from them without at least a bit of a resistance first. And with help from a mysterious individual known as Thanatos, they may just achieve their goal. Animated by 8-Bit, this series started airing on April 19th. Next is Pikaya. The story begins in the future when Earth itself is no longer inhabitable by living creatures. Humans begin their interstellar migration with space colonies. Vince and Hana work as researchers in the Cambrian project. Together with the creature Pikaya, they seek the lost code, the key to restoring Earth. And together they aim to return to Cambrian era Earth. Animated by Production IG and Oriental Light and Magic, this series started airing on April 29th. Super Short Comics. There is no plot summary available at this time and there is not much known about this series, but it will be animated by Steven and air sometime in April. Narudoma centers around the narcissistic Hagito and the masochistic Kei. Together they are Narudoma. Hagito is a handsome yet pitiful man with a lolly complex. Anytime, anywhere, a mirror is his constant companion. Surrounding him are a host of highly idiosyncratic characters. The diehard masochist Kei, the natural strong yet girlish Totono, the exceedingly stylish working stiff Saito, and the extraordinarily negative Roku. Even the one normal guy has his own issues. Animated by Kachidoki Studio, this series started airing on May 16th. Now with the anime series out of the way, let's go on to the Blu-rays, DVDs, OVAs, and specials. Haikyuu Special is an event that tells an original story of a surprising side of a popular character. This episode is bundled with the limited edition 15 volume of the manga. Animated by Production IG, this special was released on March 4th. Seire Tsukai no Blade Dance OVA is a mini special bundled with the limited edition 4th volume of the Blu-ray and DVD. Each mini special is tied to the new 32-page short story that original light novel author Shimizu Yu is writing for the limited first pressing of every Blu-ray and DVD volume. Animated by TNK, this OVA was released on March 4th. Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju will be bundled with the limited edition 7th volume of the manga. Animated by Studio D, and this OAD was released on March 6th. Tsupatsu Tohotaru is a short 4-episode special that will be aired on TV as segments within the children's television program Oha Suta, animated by JC Stat. These specials were released released on March 6 for the first episode, March 13 for the second episode, and March 20 for the third episode. Ima Futari no Michi is a short special dedicated to thanking the people who helped during the prefecture's reconstruction efforts and prevent victims' memories of the 2011 disaster from being forgotten. The story focuses on a pair of 16-year-old high school students who experienced the Tohoku disaster and grow in the aftermath. Animated by Sahi Production, this special was released on March 8th. Hitsuki no Chaika OVA is an unaired episode bundled the limited edition 12 volume of the novel. Animated by Bones, this OVA was released on March 10th. High School DxD New Oppai Tsuzumi Mas is an unaired anime episode bundled the limited edition High School DxD DX1 light novel in Blu-ray. Animated by TNK, this episode was released on March 10th. Diamond no Ace or Diamond no Ace OAD episode 3 will be bundled the limited edition 46 volume of the manga. The limited edition DVD animated Face Kominato Ryosuke special Bangai Hen, which appeared in the Diamond no Ace official guidebook Ura and tells the moving secret story of the Kominato brothers that cannot be seen in the television series. Animated by Madhouse and Production IG, this OAD episode was released on March 17th. Saki Ajiga Hen episode of Side A Kuro no Tanjobi is a short original anime bundle of the limited edition of the Blu-ray box of Saki Ajiga Hen episode of Side A. This special episode will adapt a special comic that was included in the limited first edition of the Saki Sengoku Hen's anime's first Blu-ray disc volume. Animated by Studio Gokumi, this special was released on March 18th. Free Eternal Summer Special is an unaired episode included with volume 7 of the Blu-ray and DVD release. Animated by Kyoto Animation, this episode was released on March 18th. Nekota no Koto ga Kini Natte Shikata Nai special is an anime adaptation of the Nekota no Koto ga Kini Natte Shikata Nai manga screened at the Reborn Fest 2015 event. A girl named Mikiko sees the face of a popular boy in her class as a cat's face. No information about the studio was revealed, but this special aired on March 22nd. A Papa no Yukoto o Kiki Nasai OVA will be bundled with the pre-order limited edition 18 volume of the visual novel. It will come in 3 short stories, each focusing on one of the Takanashi siblings. In the first, Sora and Raika try to play a prank on Miu. In the second, Miu dresses up her neighbor, Hiyori. And in the third, Hina wanders into town on her own. Animated by Field, this OVA was released on March 25th. Trinity 7 OVA was bundled with the limited edition 11 volume of the manga. The premise of the OVA will be written by Kenji Saito and will deal with a hilarious festival. Animated by 7 arcs, this OVA and manga volume was released on March 25th. Grisai no Kajitsu short special was bundled with volume 4 of the Blu-ray and DVD. Animated by 8-bit, this short was released on March 25th. Sword Art Offline 2 is a special bonus episode series bundled with the limited edition Sword Art Online 2 Blu-ray and DVD volumes. The characters are depicted in their chibi forms discussing about the main show and bringing up trivia related topics. Animated by A1 Pictures, these bonus episodes were released on March 25th for the 6th volume, April 22nd for the 7th, and May 27th for the 8th. Gugure Kokuri-san anime short specials was bundled with the Blu-ray and DVD volumes of the original series. Animated by TMS Entertainment, these shorts were released on March 25th for the 4th volume, April 24th for the 5th volume, and May 27th for the 6th volume. Senran Kagura Estival vs Shoujo Tachi no Sentaku was bundled with the Senran Kagura Estival vs game. A letter arrives at Def Cram School. Inside is an invitation to a spa resort. Animated by Arslan, this OVA was released on March 26th. Ansatsu Kyoshitsu Episode 0 is entitled De no Jikan or Meeting Time, which covers the meeting between Kuro Sensei and Karasuma. The episode was bundled with the limited edition first volume of the Blu-ray and DVD. Animated by Ryuke, this episode was released on March 27th. Amagi Brilliant Park Waku Waku Mini Theater Wakugaki Backstage are anime short specials bundled with the Blu-ray and DVD volumes of Amagi Brilliant Park. Animated by Kyoto Animation, these short specials were released on March 27th for the 4th volume, April 24th for the 5th volume, and May 29th for the 6th volume. Yamano Susume second season special is an unaired episode included in the 7th volume of the Blu-ray and DVD release. Animated by 8-bit, this episode was released on March 27th. A Nisakura OVA was bundled with the limited edition 17th volume of the manga. The OVA will adapt chapter 81 of the 10th volume, Sento, about the characters at a public bath. Animated by Shaft, this OVA episode was released on April 3rd. A Gintama OVA was bundled with the limited edition 58th volume of the manga. The tagline reads, "It's time for all the Yorozuya members to wake up just one more time." Animated by Sunrise, this OVA was released on April 3rd. A To Love Ru Darkness OVA was bundled with the limited edition 13th volume of the manga. This will be episode 8 of the short OVA series and will adapt 3 bonus chapters from the manga, including Photography Gekisha Seyo, Technique Otome no Tobira, and Holiday or Yori no wa Oikusu. Animated by Zebek, this OVA episode was released on April 3rd. Suisei no Gargantia, Meguru Koro Haruka, second and final OVA episode, is a sequel to the Suisei no Gargantia TV series. The second episode was screened in Japanese theaters on April 4th and was released in Blu-ray on May 27th. The series and OVAs were animated by Production IG. Shingeki no Kyojin, Kuinaku Sentaku or Attack on Titan No Regrets Episode 2 was bundled with the limited edition 16th volume of the manga. This OVA series serves as a prequel to the parent story and focuses on the origin story of Levi and Irwin. Animated by Wit Studio, the second episode of this OVA was released on April 9th. Grisai no Meikyu Caprice no Mayu Zero is related to the Grisai no Kajitsu TV series. Yuji Kazuma has saved the hearts of 5 girls at Mihama Academy, but his own heart is still clouded with darkness. Looking back, Yuji wonders what has shaped him into what he is today, as well as what he has gained and lost along the path. This special came out on April 12th. Anelog Moyako Nesa no Tamaranai Monologu, third and last episode of the short series, was one of the limited edition 7th volume of the manga. The story centers around Moyako Konoe and her younger brother Akira. When they were younger, Akira proposed to her, so Moyako thinks he is a pervert who has fallen in love with his older older sister. This misunderstanding leads her to create wild delusions about her brother. And made by Brainspace, this episode was released on April 15th. Magi, Sinbad no Boken, episode 4 of the OVA series was one of the limited edition 6th volume of the manga. The new OVA episode will follow Jafar, Sinbad, and Hina Ho-Ho as they try to capture the 6th dungeon, Valifor. And made by Ledus, this episode was released on April 17th. Selector Spread Recross, Midoriko-san to Piruku-tan is a special bone of the 2nd volume of the Blu-ray and DVD release. And made by JC Staff, this episode special was released on April 22nd. Okami Shoujo Tokuro Oji OVA was one of the limited edition 12th volume of the manga. This OVA adapts a popular manga chapter that is not airing in the television anime. And made by TYO Animations, this OVA was released on April 24th. Shin Tennis no Oji-sama vs Genius 10, translate as New Prince of Tennis OVA vs Genius 10, is a continuation of the 13-episode TV anime in 2012, set in the Japanese U-17 high school representative selection camp, and made by Production IG. The 4th volume of the OVA was released on April 24th. Fate Collide Prisma Ilia 2-Way OVA is a brand new story episode one of the limited edition 6th volume of the manga, and made by Silverlink. This OVA was released on April 25th. Strike Witches Operation Victory Arrow Volume 3 is the 3rd and final episode of the OVA series. This episode depicts the lives of the members who return to their respective homes after the end of Operation Mars in the 2nd television series. The story is set before the 2012 Strike Witches movie, and made by Silverlink. This OVA episode premiered in Japanese theaters on May 2nd. Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso Moments is an OVA bundle of the limited edition 11th volume of the manga. The OVA will focus on Kosei, Emi, and Takeshi when they were younger, showing their troubles during the competitions and the beginning of their rivalry. And made by A1 Pictures, this OVA was released on May 15th. Yamada-kun to Nani no Majo, OVA's 2nd and last episode of the OVA series. The OVA seems to be very similar to the series as they were both animated by the same studio, Liden Films, and were released on May 15th. Robot Girl Z Plus is an OVA series that will be the sequel to the Robot Girl Z TV series, and made by Toei Animation. This mini OVA series was released on May 20th. Hozuki no Reitetsu OVA was one of the limited edition 18th volume of the manga, and made by Wit Studio. This OVA episode was released on May 22nd. Durarara X2 Show Watashi no Koko wa Nabe Moyo is an extra episode bundle of the 6th Durarara X2 Show Blu-ray and DVD volume. The special is previewed at screenings in several theaters on May 30th, but will be released with the Blu-ray and DVD volume of Durarara X2 Show on July 22nd. Frame Arms, A Violent Struggle is an OVA bundled with Kotobukiya's pack of Frame Arms model kits, and made by Studio ACAT. This OVA was released on May 31st. Next, we'll move on to the movies. Gekijoban Sidonya no Kishi or Sidonya no Kishi movie is a recap of the first season of Sidonya no Kishi with additional scenes and re-edited sound effects, and made by Polygon Pictures. This film premiered on March 6th. Gekijoban Puripara Mina Atsumare Prison Tours is the film based on and starring the characters from Puripara. The plot will focus on La Manaka fighting about the Saints' top idol journey, and will feature the return of many characters from across all the Pretty Rhythm series, and made by Tatsunoko Production. This movie premiered on March 7th. Next is Doraemon Nobita no Space Heroes. No synopsis was revealed at this time. This is the 35th Doraemon movie, and made by Shina Animation. This film premiered on March 7th. Precure All-Stars Haru no Carnival is a film about a spring carnival held in the country of dance and song Harmonia. Haruka Haruno and her friends also join the festival to learn dance and song from their senior Precure warriors. However, the fairies go missing and the carnival is thrown into confusion. Even worse, the announcers Odoran and Utayan seem extremely suspicious, and the guardian dragon of Harmonia started a rampage, angry at the chaos at the carnival. In order to protect the peace of Harmonia, the 40 Precure warriors work together to create a miracle through dance and song filled with hope. And made by Toei Animation, this film premiered on March 14th. Kyokai no Kanata, I'll Be Here, Kakohen is the first part of a two-part movie. The story is a recap of the Kyokai no Kanata TV series, and made by Kyoto Animation. This film premiered on March 14th. Happy Come Come is a short film that is a part of Anime Mirai 2015. It is by a person named Hiroshi who, instead of getting a maid robot, gets a robot mom named Yoshiko instead. And made by Synergy SP, this short film premiered on March 22nd. Aki no Kanade centers around Aki Miyagawa, who moved to Tokyo to pursue her dream to be a taiko drummer, but had a hard time balancing her strict training regimen with her part-time job. Now, after 15 years, she's returning to coach artists for a taiko festival. And made by JC Staff and a part of Anime Mirai 2015, this short film premiered on March 22nd. Kumi to Tulipu is about a girl and an old man who watches over a breathing tulip as it grows. Also a part of Anime Mirai 2015, this short film premiered on March 22nd. Ongaku Shoujo is another short film for Anime Mirai 2015. Eddie, a girl who likes to stay indoors, meets a mysterious but enthusiastic transfer student named Haru. Eddie used to love to sing, and Haru loves Eddie singing. The story follows the two during the summer of their high school life, as their love sometimes overlaps and sometimes passes by each other. And made by Studio Dean, this short film premiered on March 22nd as well. Persona 3, the movie 3. I kind of understand now. You're afraid of losing things, right? The season turns into autumn. The fight of the protagonist with his this group SEES with a strange monster called Shadows is getting closer to the end. Makoto and his allies engage in life or death battles with shadows in order to end the dark hour. Through the battle, some must face the deaths of friends and family. Some must notice that precious things must be protected, and some must find meaning in the battles that have occurred. In front of Makoto, the mysterious transfer student Ryoji Mochizuki appears. When the group greets a new morning, the gears of fate begin to turn. A fight revolving on each of the heroes' bonds begins. And made by AIC-ASTA, this film premiered on April 4th. Tamayura Sotsugo Shashin Part 1 Kizashi is the story of the first movie of a 4-part finale of Tamayura is set in spring, when Fu, Kadu, Nori, and Mon get promoted to 3rd year high school students. While Kanae has graduated, 2 Kohai join the photography club. Even though they bring in new friends, their lively daily lives remains unchanged. Yet the 4 3rd year students are slowly thinking about their own future dreams and paths as they face graduation in about a year. And made by TYO Animations, this film premiered on April 4th. Crayon Shinchan Movie 23. Ora no Hikoshi Monogatari Saboten Daishugeki is a new Crayon Shinchan movie. Shinchan and his family say their goodbyes to Kasukabe City and move to Mexico. And made by Shine Animation, this film premiered on April 18th. Next is Metante Conan Goka no Himawari, translated as Detective Conan, Sunflowers of Inferno. Conan tries to track down Kaito Kid, who supposedly steals a replica of one of Van Gogh's Sunflowers paintings during an auction. And made by TMS Entertainment, this film premiered on April 18th. Dragon Ball Z Fukatsu no F, or Resurrection F, takes place in an Earth where peace has arrived. However, remnants of Frieza's army, Sorbet and Togoma, arrive on the planet. Their goal is to revive Frieza with the Dragon Balls. Their dastardly wish is granted. The F that plans its revenge against the Saiyans is revived. And made by Toei Animation, this film premiered on April 18th. Next is Gekijoban Kyokai no Kanate I'll Be Here Maraihan. This movie is the second part of a 2-part movie and will be a brand new work set 1 year after the television series. And made by Kyoto Animation, this film premiered on April 25th. Code Geass Bokoku no Akito 3 Kagayaku Mono Tenyori Otsu, translated as Code Geass Akito the Exile 3 The Brightness Falls, is the 3rd episode of Code Geass Bokoku no Akito. And made by Sunrise, this film premiered on May 2nd. Sarisuberi, Miss Hokusai. It's 1814 and the city of Edo is one of the most populated homes of peasants, samurai, townsmen, merchants, nobles, artists, courtesans, and maybe even supernatural beings. 2 residents are the highly accomplished artist Tetsuzo and his talented 23-year-old daughter Oe. Tetsuzo gains worldwide acclaim as Katsushika Hokusai, but few would know Miss Hokusai, the daughter who assisted him uncredited. And made by Production IG, this film premiered on May 9th.
Sarisuberi, Miss Hokusai.
New Initial D movie Legend 2 Toso, translated as Legend 2 Racer, is the second movie to the new Initial D movie Legend trilogy. And made by Liden Films, this film premiered on May 23rd. Thanks for watching this really outdated video. I don't deserve any of you for still following an unreliable person like me. As always, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.